All right, happy May 1st.
Happy May 1st.
We are super excited to be here, start a new month, start a new topic of discussion, a new focus for this month.
Yes, and happy early Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day.
I know.
Happy
Two
Mother's Day
moms.
to all of us watching, listening.
To all the moms out there, you guys are fantastic and killing it. So, you're heard, you're seen. Moms do a lot, and dads as well too, but moms do a lot. So happy early Mother's Day to all of you, and wishing you a wonderful day.
Keep it going. Don't stop. We're here. We support you.
Yes, yes.
So the topic for this month is going from a side hustle to full time. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Right.
Is it your time to go from part-time to full-time? And what would that look like? How can we help you? How can we advise you? What other women are listening that want to jump on this month,
Right.
and talk about your journey from going part-time to full-time, whatever industry that you're in?
Right. I think also it's good for us to share with everyone, how we got into real estate and where we are right now. So, let's share our stories a little bit more and talk about how we got from, here to there, to here.
Yeah. So for myself, I was in the hair industry for many years. Yeah. Probably 11, 12 years I was in the beauty industry straight out of high school. Even before I got out of high school, I was already working in a salon. I got my license. And then I got into real estate after going to an open house. At the time, I was looking at homes, getting ideas to purchase my own house here in New York City. And I was just blown away by the price points.
I think New York City and New York in general is a different animal, and people are just so shocked by, the broad range of pricing, and the gamut of luxury homes to starter homes, and as a real estate agent, you just see the whole breadth of
I also
the price
didn't
points.
really,
Yeah.
I really didn't even know about multifamilies. I thought we were looking at single families. So found out we were looking at actually 2-family homes in Bushwick. And you're talking about 2,000 square feet,
Yeah.
possibly, maybe less.
Mhm.
And they were listed at 1.4 million, I believe, at that time.
Crazy.
Which I'm from Texas, so I always relate to Texas, and getting a home like that, depending on where you're at, but still, I feel like 250,000, you could still get something like that in a good neighborhood.
So nice in Texas, right?
In a good neighborhood,
Yeah.
with a backyard, front yard, a garage, a driveway, everything that you would want in a home, especially when you have a kid. So I started looking into it, and because I was in the hair industry, I also had that flexibility to look into other options, and flex with my schedule in the salon and start getting licensed as a realtor.
Wonderful.
So
Awesome.
I think that was really helpful. And I think that's why the transition and this career works well with me, because it's a lot of the same. It's very relationship based. Sometimes you feel like a therapist.
Yes.
You control your schedule. You can flex.
Yep.
You can make as much or as little as you want.
Yep.
And it was the same thing in the salon industry.
Right.
And with Keller Williams, where we're at, I feel like we get a lot of training, which is in the salon that I was at before. It was a high-end salon, and I got a lot of training as well.
Keller Williams, yes. A lot of training. For me, I always had a full-time job because my parents were immigrants, and I'm an immigrant kid, and it was always drilled down to me that we have to work, make money, because we had just moved to the US. I actually came from a salary job where I was doing office management, dealing with, like real estate, you wear many hats as an office manager, right? You deal with problems every single day that are totally different. And every day is a different problem, I actually left the corporate world because I had 3 kids at the time, two in the elementary school, and my youngest was special needs. So I felt really torn. And also the mom guilt was really prevalent. I wasn't home being with my special needs child who really needed me. And I was hustling and bustling to get to work on time and to just leave work to pick the older kids up from daycare or after school care before 6, before I was charged. So I just felt really torn, and I just like, let me just take a breather and quit the corporate world.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that was really scary because I've always worked since I was like 12 to 14 years old, side jobs here and there, summer
Me
youth
too.
employment, you know? So like just making that decision to like leave the corporate world and not have a salary was just frightening to me,
Yeah.
frightening. And thankfully I have my husband to back us up, but you know, just still not having that extra income
Yeah.
was really hard, you know?
Because you already know it's basically guaranteed
Yes,
and
then
you're comfortable.
and not having that to rely upon was hard. So, but you know, it's a decision that I never regret because I was able to spend more time with the kids.
Yeah.
Right. I became very involved with PTA president, serving.
Me too now.
Serving the community, the schools, and just be like embedded into the kids' lives. You know, I was able to
Right.
be a soccer, you know, like quote unquote soccer mom. Like
Me now too.
Although my kids never really took to soccer.
The
you
actual
know?
soccer.
They did, but they were horrible at it. So like, no, we're not having them join soccer. But my kids just, you know, with baseball, gymnastics, and my
And
third
that's three.
and my youngest had all
I'm
these
just gonna
therapies,
clap for you.
all these
I don't know how
all
you
these
do it with
therapies that
three.
came into the house, you know. So
Three is a lot. One is a lot.
one is a lot.
Three sounds.
Three, you feel like all these gray hairs are coming out, you know. Because it's just one person trying to, you know, juggle all these different schedules.
Right, and I'm sure they all have their different
Needs,
interests
interests
and
needs.
hobbies. So then you're
Yes.
like trying to accommodate each one.
Mhm. My oldest, she was into gymnastics and Lego robotics. So
Okay.
just trying to get her up to all these like practices was hard. My son was into basketball, swimming, baseball, and he's really into baseball for a long time. We did travel baseball. So
Yeah.
just being out of the house for double headers was hard for us. But I actually got back into the workforce because I made a lot of contacts in my corporate world, and they're like, oh, you know, you're so good at managing properties and the offices. Why don't you get your broker's license and just do real estate, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, I love real estate. I'm one of those people that I love going to open houses and seeing, oh, I love that tower, I love that cabinetry, I love that couch, I love that, you know, color scheme. So I just really love like houses, right? And for me, I just because of the way I grew up and the way I was raised, I just feel like generational wealth is accumulated through properties, and like, you know,
100%.
we started out small, like,
If you haven't read the book, read The Color of Law.
right.
I didn't finish it because I kind of like picked up on like the whole idea behind it pretty fast.
Right.
Maybe one day I'll finish it.
Yeah.
But it was a very big eye opener for me on how wealth was created in this country.
Right.
And how it's now more available to everyone.
Right.
And we need to take advantage of that.
Right.
Because you can, I mean, people think it's impossible to become wealthy, a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever.
Or homeowners, you know?
But let's just say it starts with you.
Yes.
Because where you start today is going to pass on to your children and their children. And it's just building each generation
right
onto that wealth.
Exactly.
To get where you want to
Exactly.
get.
And you know what?
And like, I really want to push people to like dive into that.
Same.
Because we underestimate, right? Like
yourself.
We can't do it.
Yes.
I can't, like, maybe let's just say worst case scenario is you don't get to be a millionaire in your lifetime.
Right.
But wouldn't it be so exciting?
Yeah.
To imagine your child or your grandchildren at that level and at that level of comfort in life.
Right. Right.
You know?
And for me, it's just, you know, home ownership may be a daunting task right now, but you can do it. You know, start out small. I always say, you know, don't start out small, but whether you don't need to own $1 million home right now.
Be smart about it.
Maybe you have enough for down payment for a co-op. And then you sell that co-op and you buy a condo, and you sell that condo and you buy a house. So each step will lead you towards more and more goals.
I think it's about educating yourself.
Yes.
If that's your goal, start talking to people like myself, like Amanda, that can give you more insight on what it takes to become a homeowner and what your options are. At the end of the day, rent is only going to increase.
Rent is going to
And
increase.
rent is already insane. I will say that right now there are people that pay more in rent than they would pay if they were paying a mortgage.
Exactly.
And it's really about just knowing what to do to get there. A lot of it is credit.
Yes.
What I'm noticing that a lot why people are not getting there right now is credit, and they don't have the down payment because here in New York, our prices are so high. So a down payment, even if you're doing 3%, 10%, it's still a lot of money.
It's a lot.
But just like educating yourself, at least start educating yourself.
Yeah, start
That way
educating yourself.
That's one step towards that goal.
And knowledge, right? Like educating knowledge, like what it's gonna take to make a down payment, right? How much down payment do I need to put down?
Yeah.
And Natalia and I have a lot of contacts. So if you're interested in like maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now that you want to buy a home, purchase a home, talk to us. We have resources that you can actually steer you towards, whether talking to mortgage specialists or financial specialists, so they can analyze where you're at right now, how much you need to save and tuck away, even if it's just a little bit, like $100 a week, a month,
One thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people are looking into purchasing now. Like they want that option. I think a lot of it has to do with talking about generational wealth. Like people are awakening to this new idea beyond just like owning a home. Like what else does it mean? I've noticed a lot of people too are shifting into new careers. A lot of it started with COVID, but it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people are starting, let's do part-time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this side hustle or this extra part-time gig on the side while I maintain, the current full-time job that are paying my bills. And I think it's brilliant. I think there's so many options out here, so many opportunities now that people can literally leave their 9-to-5 jobs, leave their corporate jobs. If you're not happy, if you're happy, stay in it.
Exactly.
I think you have to do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
But if you're not happy, start looking to other options, start that part-time, even if you can only dedicate an hour or 3 hours, whatever extra time you can fit to work towards that other goal.
Yeah.
I think you can do it now more easier. There's so many options to do
So
stuff
many options, remotely and online, exactly. And for us, I don't know. I started my real estate career as a part-time, but it's actually I'm doing it full-time because I'm working.
I started part-time too.
I'm working so many hours. We work so many hours, and we actually work like past 5 p.m. Like sometimes it's like 11 p.m. Like, oh, I have to send out this text or email or
I think for us, it's not 9 to 5,
No.
but we're probably still working the same amount of hours,
Right.
just with more flexibility.
Yes.
And spaces in between. I know for me, I usually have more open time between like 1 and 4.
Right.
1 and 4 people are still at work.
Yes.
They're not really scheduling showings as much. If they schedule showings, it's going to be like morning, lunchtime, or after work.
Right.
So that 1 to 4, I know I have a little bit of extra time to either focus on my business or me.
Right.
Me time.
Me time. Mine's is like more in the mornings after the kids go to school. That's me time. And then I really, really work from like 8 till about 3, like really like hardcore with phone calls, emails, like hounding agents hounding agents for, hey, can I get in, see the home, or talking to attorneys and mortgage specialists. And then I have a little lull between like 3 and 6 when the kids come home, and or I'm getting the kids, and then I'm back on again from like 6 to like I don't know. Well, 6 is like dinner time. After dinner time, like after about 8 to like about 10:30. So I'm back online, following up with emails, making the day for the next day, my schedule for the next day, and
I like to tell people I work when people work and I work when people are not working.
It's true.
Based off of the hours.
It's true.
And I know some people will say, well, you can just set your time and then nobody can contact you. That's not necessarily the case. Especially I've had clients that are trying to make a deal out of state.
Yes.
Right? So we're doing virtual stuff.
Yes.
And we're ahead of everybody. We're on the East Coast.
Yes.
So sometimes I have to jump on a call when they're off of work. So if they're off of work at 5, like here it's already 6.
Yes. Yes.
So it just gets later and later, and I've come to accept that that's okay. But it's also knowing what's urgent.
Yes.
So I will say I'm available, but I also respond when it's urgent.
Yes.
And I give a little space when I know it's not urgent.
Same,
So
same.
prioritizing is like a really big key. And I think that's helpful too if you're going part-time with something.
Yes.
Is knowing how to prioritize.
Yes. Prioritize, juggle, and For me, I have some clients that are in Asia.
Okay.
So sometimes I need to talk to them. So I actually, very conscious of the fact that they're 12 hours ahead of us. So
big difference.
Big difference. So they'll call me at 8 or 9 a.m. their time, which is like 8 or 9 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay. I'm like, listen, I need to make sure the kids are down or fed first, and then I'll jump on the call with you. So it's just making the time, like prioritizing, because my clients in Asia are, they're depending on me to respond back to certain situations. So I have to make the time between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. for them. So it's just a matter of, like you said, juggling and prioritizing.
Yeah. And I think you might have stated that you didn't feel like you were full-time, but you kind of are. This is your full-time gig.
It is my full-time gig.
Maybe you were thinking more along the lines like, I don't work 9 to 5.
I don't,
But we do work probably 8 hours in a day.
Probably more than that, actually, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, yes.
So I would say yes, very much so, full-time.
Well, full-time, yes. I know.
We are full-time gig people.
Exactly.
But the one thing I love about it is that we do have flexibility, and that's important as moms, as parents.
That for me is priceless. Like I'm like you for you to your daughter too. For me, we're able to be involved in their activities.
Yeah.
And present for them, because I feel like time with them right now, because as they're growing older, and the years are just passing by faster, that time is fleeting.
Yeah.
And I want to spend time with them now, not
I
tomorrow.
will say though that if you are listening and you work a 9 to 5, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
And
no judgment. We just
I actually think that, that's okay. You're working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
We're working our same hours. Just because I have flexibility doesn't mean that I can get every opportunity.
Yes.
But I try to
Yeah.
make it. And it's just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because I control my schedule. But if you're working 9 to 5 where you don't have that option, like you have a boss,
Yes.
you work under somebody,
Mhm.
I celebrate you. I think that's amazing.
I think it's amazing. And you're making it work for yourself and you love what you do.
Yes.
Go for it, It's just, in our circumstances, we're just talking about our circumstances only, so.
Yeah.
If you're working 9 to 5 and you love it, go for it. Yeah. More power to you.
Yeah. And I really, whoever's listening, I really, really want to get somebody on who has gone through this transition.
Right.
Gone through maybe a corporate job or any 9 to 5 job, any employment job, and then you made that shift and how you did it. And did you do it gradually? Did you have to balance both, right? Part-time, or part-time, full-time?
Yeah.
Then manage your household as well.
And as well, yeah.
Right.
I would say I went cold turkey, okay, done with the corporate job. And then, I guess nothing for a while, right? And then started to volunteer with PTA and with my kids' schools, and then gradually go back into real estate, got my license, and I have to be honest, right? When I got my license, I actually did not realize what a grind real estate was.
Yeah.
Or is, I mean, listings and money they don't come automatically to you once you become an agent.
Yeah.
You have to go out there and work it.
I think a lot of agents get into the industry thinking you're gonna get leads.
Yes.
That the business is just gonna be coming in and like, yes, let's move forward.
Kelly's an agent. Let me give her my house to sell,
Yeah.
And
it's not.
No.
You're literally building a business.
You're
building a client, you're building a database.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not like you just step into it and you're gonna get a sale. I actually didn't even have, my first year, I didn't have anything.
I didn't have
took me
anything
a
for
year.
9 months.
And you know, there was many times that I questioned, did I make the right decision? Should I get back in the salon? Should I go back and open my own salon? Because that was one of my goals as well.
Was
But
it
I
scary for
let,
you not having anything for a year after getting your license?
so at the time I was still married. So I think that helped alleviate some of the stress.
Yes,
So I'm
yes.
grateful for that time
Mhm.
that I was able to, you know,
Get
be
your
able to do
license,
that,
yeah,
like
and
make
learn.
that shift, learn,
Mhm.
and not worry so much about finances.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, am I gonna
Pay the rent.
default? Yeah.
Pay the bills.
Yeah.
I would say definitely having that my husband still work and provide that when like you said, you know, when you become an agent and are just learning,
Yeah.
it's a pretty like high learning rate
Yeah.
because you have to actually like ramp up, you know, be aware of all the regulations and disclosures that are, you know, that it
It's a
involves.
learning process.
Yes.
And I'm the type of person where I have to know everything to feel comfortable and confident to like go out there.
Yes. To talk about.
So ridiculous. I've gotten better at that.
Yes. And I feel we're always still learning, right?
And
Everything's
we
always
also
changing.
work for a brokerage where I feel like we do get a lot of support if we
Mhm.
have questions. We
Right.
can move forward. And if we get stuck or there's something we don't know, there's
Yes.
somebody in our office
Yes,
that
yes.
we can reach out to and get the answer for.
That's one of the key reasons why I joined Keller Williams. I got my license to actually interview a lot of brokerages, and one of my friends actually who was at Keller Williams told me, but hey, might want to check out Keller Williams because just check out the classes that they provide,
Yeah.
the training, speak to our team leader. At the time it was Gloria, I love her. She's like a mama to me.
Yeah.
And
She was a mama to the whole office.
to the whole office, yes. But Keller Williams actually does provide a lot of training. And like you said, I love the fact that I can go into the office and just, like, if I'm stuck and I need to talk about a deal to somebody, there's always someone who's like, you know, a top agent who says, okay, no worries, I'm available. Come chat with me, come to my office, we'll chat, you know. And I always feel much better. Like, you know, I get, okay, now I feel much better about talking about the deal and I can move on, you know, or I can, I know the next steps to go, you know.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky that we joined Keller Williams, I feel.
Agreed. So I guess we could end this by just saying, if you're listening and you want to jump on and talk about your career change,
We'd love to hear
send
it.
us an email. Also, you can just drop in the comments as well if you've done a change.
Yes.
How it went for you. Are you in the process of trying to make a change? One thing I want to do as well is maybe look up some options that we can provide these other women that are listening. Side hustles.
Yes.
What are some side hustles
Mhm.
that you could look into to make some extra money if you want to?
Right.
That you can do part-time
Right.
in your free time. And we'll share that. We'll drop that in the comments. And if you're on our Facebook community, we can share more in that as well. If you want more information or deeper details on these conversations that we're having on the podcast,
Yes.
send us a message as well to join our private Facebook group because we do post a lot more on there.
Right. And we would love to hear from you because, you know, we're women, we're moms, and we're just trying to make it work on a day-to-day basis. And you're going through the same thing we're going through, and you're thinking about this change. We would love to hear from you. So drop us a comment.
I would also say the fastest way to get to your goal sometimes is reaching out to other people that have been there, done that, and then can help guide you to prevent some, possibly not all, but some of the mistakes and pitfalls that we probably already went through.
Yes, yes.